This is the second half to our Trading Places episode, a movie that I personally haven't watched in years. And it was really interesting. I just finished watching it literally like about a half hour ago. So it's very fresh in my memory, unlike most movies we do here, right? But I think we're going to have a hoot with this one because there's a lot to discuss with this film.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it, man. Oh, and I forgot to mention, before we do get into it, this is part of our Christmas Classics Month.
Yes.
All month long, listeners, we are doing Christmas-related movies. Mostly movies, hopefully movies that are regarded as classics, because if not, that Christmas Classics moniker is going to go to waste. But please tune into all month for Christmas-themed movies, or at least movies that have something to do with Christmas.
Yeah, well, see, I would say that this movie maybe has the least to do with Christmas of our choices. It happens around Christmas.
I actually think it's different.
Yeah.
I think it's both Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Actually, it ends in New Year's, so
yeah,
I'm not even sure that's
it's a holiday movie, but I'm pretty sure Christmas is not even mentioned in this movie, other than Dan Aykroyd's wearing a Santa Claus outfit at one point.
They also mentioned Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah, I remember them mentioning Thanksgiving for something, which I've already forgot. But Christmas, I don't know. I don't know if they mentioned it.
I think they may have been one or two people that said Merry Christmas.
Oh,
that's about it.
Oh,
That's
you're
about
right.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Scott. I mean, Christmas is a backdrop to this movie.
Yes.
It is in the movie, but it's not a movie having anything to do with the holiday spirit or Christmas. I mean, this could have taken place basically at any time of year. Yeah. But listen, don't shit on Christmas classics. Okay. I just built it up. So let it stand, man. Let it stand.
I will get my nieces together and we will watch it around the fire this year. We will watch Trading Places. They will love it.
But let's do a jump into this movie because I think there's going to be a lot to talk about. Do we want to go into any facts and figures, or do we want to go straight into the plot?
Oh, let's go straight into it. We can get into facts and figures during the recap.
I wonder in this movie how many days did they trade spaces? Places.
No, places.
Yeah, trading spaces. Trading spaces, by the way, is like a home improvement. I actually did that first because of you. So good job.
I know. I keep forgetting.
It's okay.
So how many days do you think that they switch place?
I don't think long. I think it's
it's
probably a month, right? It's probably pretty much a month of December, I think, because I think it happens right after Thanksgiving and then all the way up to New Year when they're on the trains, New Year's Eve. So
I was going to say it didn't even take that long. I thought it was going to be in the space of a few days or even up to a week.
Seems
but you're
like
right.
it. But Eddie Murphy becomes a genius. Like he understands the stock market very quick.
It's a common sense, though. The observation.
Because he's not from the ghetto. Is that why he can't understand the stock market? Is that why, Scott? Tell us why he can't understand the stock market.
Because I'm looking at what they're doing, and I have no idea what the hell's going on there.
I don't know how to trade commodities.
Not at all.
Does it start out with Dan Aykroyd?
I believe so. Yeah,
he introduced Dan Aykroyd and Coleman.
Coleman doing everything for him, bringing him breakfast in bed and, has to open the door for him. But by the way, the score for this movie is really good. I thought the music was very good for this movie.
Mm-hmm. It was. It starts out with Mozart, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads into others. But throughout the movie, the music is very well placed. And
except for like when they're at the party scenes and then they're playing whatever disco hits of 1983 were at the time. Those were dated, but the rest of the score was very good.
There was music playing during the party scenes.
Oh, you weren't looking.
It was very distant in the background. It wasn't really. Believe me, we didn't miss a thing. We meet Dan Aykroyd's character. Louis Winthorpe III.
Yes.
And he is awoken by his butler or his Jeeves or whatever you want to call him, who's Coleman, who is actually and has always been, and to this day, still one of my favorite characters in this movie. It's not like a major role to, akin to like Eddie Murphy's or Dan Aykroyd or even Jamie Lee Curtis's, but it is a very important role. You know, it's like a background role that the movie would not be the same without that character. And it's so well played. I don't know the actor's name. I have IMDb up and I should look it up, but
he has a weird name. It's I forgot his name, but you remember him also from the Indiana Jones movies. He was Indy's professor, boss, or dean, or whatever he was.
The first one, or
the first 3, I believe he's
in a few of them.
Yeah, he passed away in, I want to say, 92.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He died. Wow. Pretty much all the older guys in this movie all died around the same time. Ralph Bellamy and Don Amici died around the same time, like 91 and 93, I think.
You mean the 2 old guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the Dukes. So we meet Louis Winthorpe III and his very lavish lifestyle. You know, he's being served breakfast in bed by his butler, Coleman. And Coleman does everything. He shaves him. He does the whole 9. Like it's something out of like 1892 or something. You know, like I was like, damn. But
he wouldn't even open his car door. He walked out there, stood by his car door, and waited for Coleman to come walk and open up the door for him.
And may I say, it almost looked a little annoyed that he had to wait for Coleman to open the door for him. Like what's taking Coleman so long to open my damn car door? And we get a little peek into Lewis's lifestyle. He's a bigwig at some kind of stock exchange company, some kind
Duke and Duke.
Who are the 2 old men that Joe AP brought up earlier, played by Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy, played brilliantly by these 2 actors. This movie will go down in history, and I'm jumping ahead a little, but just the fact that they got Don Amici to say "fuck him," I love it. I live for that.
Did you guys read the IMDb about that as well, though? So Don Amici does not believe in cussing. He really did not want to say that, and he was really upset. Put his foot down, said he would not do that line, and finally he caved in, but only did it one time. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do it once, and that's gonna be the take. If you don't like the take, fuck you, because that's it. I'm only gonna say it one time, and that's it.
I'm so glad
that was the only take of that shot.
That was a 1-second scene, him saying that, but it was enough because it was gold. The way he said it, you fooled. It could have fooled me that he didn't want to do that scene.
Yeah,
because he did it so brilliantly, and it's a very small scene, but it's enough. But again, we're jumping ahead, and we get a peek into this rich lifestyle of Louis Winthorpe. He's part of this company. He does some kind of stock thing for the Dukes. He's very successful at it. He's engaged to their grandniece, I think they said.
Yes, grandniece.
But they're at this club, one of these fancy schmancy men's clubs that rich men.
The Heritage Club, I believe.
The Heritage Club.
Heritage Club is the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulling out the notes, Scott. Love it.
Yes. Scott did his homework.
I was looking for a membership is what I was doing. That's how I know. I was thinking, it seems like a join.
You're required to sing in harmony, Scott. Serenade.
Yeah.
To the girls.
These are my people. I want in.
Brilliantly done. But at this point, we meet Eddie Murphy's character and Billy Ray something. What?
Valentine.
Thank you.
Ray Valentine.
Yeah. From the get, man, Eddie Murphy, man, you watch these movies with him. These are some of his first big roles, and he just owns it. He just freaking owns it. Just his demeanor, he makes it seem so natural and easy. And I think it was Joe AP who asked in the first half of this episode about improvisation on Eddie Murphy's part in his film roles. Yeah. I mean, he just takes these roles and he owns them. Half the lines were probably not even scripted for him. He just went with it, rolled with it, and he does it brilliantly. Eddie Murphy was damn good at what he did back then.
I think he was 22, and we were right. It was his second film. His first film was 48 Hours.
Wow, only his second film. That is wild.
Only a year after that movie, too.
It's wild because right. Yeah. You watch him in this role, and he seems so seasoned. He seems like he's been doing it all his life.
And John Landis didn't know who he was. So when he got cast for this movie, I guess the studio suggested Eddie Murphy. He had always shot 48 Hours, but it had not been released yet. And John Landis didn't watch Saturday Night Live, so he wasn't. Even though he directed other movies with Saturday Night Live people in it, like he did. Animal House and Blues Brothers. So, he already was familiar with Saturday Night Live actors. He didn't know who Eddie Murphy was. So when he got him in and got him to read, he, bought in and did it. But yeah, 48 Hours wasn't even out yet when he got cast for this movie.